Welcome everybody to the Jamez Report. Today we're going to be talking about Auska and how she's possibly going to be missing out on Wrestlemania 37. And what does that mean for the Raw Women's Championship picture come Wrestlemania time if Auska is the miss? As always, if you like this content, you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel out. Also, leave your comments down below of anything that you want to discuss or what you think about the situation coming to WrestleMania 37, according to Auska. Back on February 22nd, Auska was in a tag team match for the Women's Championship against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and she teamed up with Charlotte Flair. Much to the surprise of everybody else, there was an injury in this match, and no, it was not the normal person of Nia Jax hunting people. It was Shayna Baszler. It was Shayna Baszler who hunt poor Auska. I believe she had Nia Jax in an ankle lock. And to save the day, Baszler comes in and kicks Auska in the face, which is a move that many wrestlers do, but she didn't stop in time and kicked Auska directly in the face, knocking out her front tooth. First off, props to Auska for finishing the match with her tooth getting knocked out. We've seen wrestlers do this before, from Natalya to Jeff Hardy. And even Cesaro, who hit a ring post there a couple years back and shoved his teeth up into his gums. So props off to that. Then Auska would get kicked in the face by Charlotte Flair, costing them the match because Nia Jax would then drop a leg drop. I have a problem with this, for one thing. I'm not mad at Shayna Baszler because accidents happen inside the wrestling ring. It happens all the time. But where is the heat that we see so much heat on Nia Jax when she injures somebody? And yes, I know it always seems to be Nia Jax that hunts somebody, and I'm not really defending Nia Jax, but it takes two to tango, ladies and gentlemen. It takes two to tango. Back when Nia Jax hunt Auska's former partner, and I have to forgive me, I cannot remember her name, I can picture her face, hit her twice with an injury, once with a concussion. And here's the thing. Accidents, like I said, accidents happen. And Nia Jax has a bad rap. Yes, she's had some injuries to Becky Lynch, to Auska's former partner, like I had mentioned. It looked like a nasty power bomb to Dana Brooke there a couple weeks prior to this, actually. And actually, I watched that power bomb back and forth, back and rewind it, back and forth. It was a well-done move. I don't think it was a slip-up. If there was a slip-up, it was a slip by Dana Brooke because she didn't get in the right position. Now, that all being said, where's the heat on Shayna Baszler? Should there be heat on Shayna Baszler, though? No. Should you put heat on wrestlers when they injure someone? I can understand Nia Jax to a certain point, so everybody has a point to say that Nia Jax can be dangerous in the ring. But let's see you get in and do that. Let's see you get in the ring and do the things that she does and not hurt somebody or hurt yourself. That all being said, I will say this too. I think Nia Jax has taken a step back to where she once was as a performer as well. It seems like when she's gotten put with Shayna Baszler, WWE likes this pairing. I kind of like this pairing. But they have not been putting on the best matches. And that's something, and it kind of shows here that, it was a stiff kick to the face for Auska. It was a mistake by Shayna Baszler, and it goes on both sides of the party. I don't really blame Auska in this case. This was more on Shayna Baszler's part, and so I've been looking on social media. I don't see the heat on Shayna Baszler, them calling her dangerous, calling her sloppy. I've seen a couple comments, but nothing crazy like that. But that's besides the point. So what happens? Because, okay, she lost a tooth, and everyone was kind of saying, well, why she out? Well, she has a concussion, it turns out. After going to the dentist, she has a concussion. Most likely she'll be back before WrestleMania, but there is a possibility that Auska is not going to be cleared. If she's not cleared to compete at WrestleMania, who steps up to Charlotte Flair? Because the storyline was going to be Charlotte Flair versus Lacey Evans. Well, Lacey Evans would have won the title, the Raw Women's title from Auska back at Elimination Chamber. Or possibly Fastlane. So then the storyline was changed to Auska versus Charlotte. Now, what does this mean? If Auska can compete, who steps up? I could see Shayna Baszler stepping up, seeing how Shayna Baszler was the one who injured Auska. And quite frankly, Baszler is a bad mamma jamma. And the fact that she's not getting pushed as a single star is baffling to me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. You think of what Shayna Baszler was when she got called up to the main roster and when she was in NXT. She was a destroyer. She was getting pushed to the moon and back as being this unbeatable force that no one could conquer except for Becky Lynch with a roll-up pin at WrestleMania, by the way. And then she's just kind of fallen off. Some of that is because Vince McMahon doesn't see the money in her promos. Her promo skills are her weakest point. She's an in-ring competitor. She's not a very good speaker. She has her moments, but she's not a very good promo cutter, to say the least. Same goes for Nia Jax. Nia Jax is not that great of a promo. And when you got someone who's not great at promos, you got to put them with someone who is great at promos to help make up for the weakness. And I can say that Nia Jax is better at promos than Shayna, but Shayna's better in the ring than Nia, so maybe that's why WWE really likes them two being put together. But it still doesn't answer the question who steps up to Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair, and I've already made a video about this, is going to be in the title picture regardless at WrestleMania. If Auska can compete, the title will be vacant. Rhea Ripley is making her Raw debut very soon. We've seen the videos. And I love Rhea Ripley. I think she should have went to SmackDown to kind of have a feud with Bianca Belair after the Royal Rumble incident, where if you go back and watch the video at the Royal Rumble, Bianca Belair's both of her feet touched the floor. This was ignored, rightfully so, by the WWE, because we don't want to show imperfections on TV. And we don't want to point that out, but that would have been a fantastic storyline, if you ask me. So Rhea Ripley rekindles her feud with Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. The only problem with this is Rhea Ripley's not ready to hold the Raw Women's Championship. It'd be a predictable finish. Charlotte Flair would get the nod. Maybe. WWE has surprised us in the past. Maybe Rhea Ripley gets her revenge. She's a heel. I would make Rhea Ripley a heel. I feel like Rhea Ripley was better as a heel. Yes, babyface Rhea Ripley has the fan support, but Rhea Ripley was always better as a heel. Make her a heel. Make her beat Charlotte. Make her cheat. Do whatever she's got to do to beat Charlotte to get revenge from last year's WrestleMania, where Charlotte would get the win over Rhea Ripley. Which, by the way, that match, if COVID never hit, Rhea Ripley wins at WrestleMania last year. She gets her WrestleMania moment. But COVID hit, and she had problems with her passport, which made Charlotte Flair the winner, which was a nice surprise for me, because I didn't see it happening, and I didn't have a problem with Charlotte Flair being part of NXT, because then it showed that NXT was not just the developmental stage, which is what they're presented as now more than ever. After that whole year where NXT invaded WWE and the main rosters, and they were saying, hey, we're not the B show no more. And so if Auska can't compete, then were the only two options that I could see really making sense. There's no one else on the roster that can compete with Charlotte Flair. I've had this video before. No one. Baszler or Rhea Ripley. If Auska cannot compete, them are your two options. If nothing else, make a triple threat match. But that, to me, that's the only thing that makes sense. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who do you think should challenge Charlotte Flair? Do you think Auska will be ready? And if Auska is ready, do you think she can beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania and get her revenge from when she debuted at WrestleMania to face Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and you guys have a great day.